Today, we will be replacing the screen on an iPhone 5. Required tools: pentalobe screwdriver, phillips screwdriver, plastic spudger, plastic opening tool, tweezers, metal blade, and suction cup. This repair will take about 20 to 30 minutes. You will be handling fragile parts, so take your time and be gentle. Make sure to use the correct screws during reassembly. Some screws will have the same size but different lengths and can easily be misidentified during reassembly. If your display glass is cracked, keep further breakage contained and prevent bodily harm during your repair by taping the glass using packing tape. Wear safety glasses to protect your eyes from any glass shaken free during the repair, and be sure to wear an anti-static wrist strap to prevent static charges in the device. Lay overlapping strips of tape over the iPhone's display until the whole phone is covered. Before disassembling your iPhone, be sure it is powered off. Remove the 2 pentalobe screws to the lightning connector. Press a suction cup onto the screen just above the home button. Be sure the cup is completely on the screen to get a tight seal. While holding the iPhone down with one hand, pull up on the suction cup to lightly separate the front panel assembly from the rear case. Be sure to take your time and apply firm, constant force. The display assembly is a much tighter fit than most devices. With a plastic opening tool or a metal blade, begin to gently pry the rear case down away from the display assembly while you pull up with the suction cup. Do not try to completely remove the front panel assembly from the rear case, as there are several ribbon cables still attached at the top of the iPhone. Lift the home button end of the front panel to gain access to the connectors near the top of the phone. During the next few steps, until you remove the front panel assembly, keep it supported at a 90-degree angle in relation to the rear case. Remove the following screws securing the front panel assembly cable bracket to the logic board: 2 1.2 mm Phillips screws, 1 1.6 mm Phillips screws. Remove the front panel assembly cable bracket from the logic board. Use a plastic opening tool to disconnect the 3 front panel assembly cables: the front-facing camera and sensor cable, the LCD cable, and the digitizer cable. Remove the front panel assembly from the rear case. Remove 2 screws securing the front-facing camera bracket to the display assembly: 1 4.1 mm Phillips screw, 1 2.2 mm Phillips screw. Remove the earpiece speaker bracket from the display assembly. Remove the earpiece speaker from the iPhone. Starting under the earpiece speaker contacts, use a plastic opening tool or the tip of a spudger to pry the front-facing camera cable out of the display assembly. Removing the earpiece speaker contacts can cause them to tear. Use extreme caution when peeling the contacts up. Remove the front-facing camera and rear microphone assembly. Remove the two 1.3mm Phillips screws securing the home button bracket to the display assembly. Use a plastic opening tool to pry the edges of the home button ribbon cable up from the display assembly. Start on the right at the area of the ribbon cable between the gold contact points and work to the left. Use a plastic opening tool to pry the home button up from the display assembly. Remove the home button from the display assembly. Remove two 1.2mm Phillips screws from each side of the LCD frame, 4 in total. Remove the two screws securing the LCD shield plate to the display assembly. One 1.4mm Phillips screw, one 2.6mm Phillips screw. Remove the LCD shield plate from the display assembly. The bare display assembly remains. Make sure to remove the protective cover from your new display assembly. For reassembly, make sure to transfer over the LCD shield, home button, front-facing camera assembly, front-facing camera lens bezel, and earpiece speaker to your new part. Insert the LCD shield plate to the new LCD assembly. Insert the two screws securing the LCD shield plate to the display assembly. Take your time and make sure your screws are lined up correctly before tightening. This will prevent strapping a screw. Screws should be tightened until snug. Do not over-tighten the screws. Insert two 1.2mm Phillips screws from each side of the LCD frame, 4 in total. Use tweezers to insert the home button into the display assembly. Use tweezers to insert the home button ribbon cable to the display assembly. Insert the 2 Phillips screws, securing the home button bracket to the display assembly. Use tweezers to insert the rear microphone in the front-facing camera assembly. Also be sure to snap the speaker contacts into place. Insert the earpiece speaker to the iPhone. Insert the earpiece speaker bracket to the display assembly. Insert 2 screws to the front-facing camera bracket to the display assembly. Connect the digitizer, the LCD, and the front-facing camera cables. Make sure flex cables are properly aligned before snapping back into place, and gently push on connections until they connect. Insert the front panel assembly cable bracket to the logic board. Insert the 3 screws to secure the front panel assembly cable bracket to the logic board. Holding the LCD at a 20-degree angle, secure the assembly into place by snapping together the latches from the top. Run your fingers along the sides, being sure the assembly slips evenly into the frame. Make sure the new screen sits flush inside the frame. If the frame is bent, Do your best to bend it back into shape. If you are still having trouble, please contact Werx for assistance. Insert the 2 pentalobe screws to secure the LCD assembly to the frame.